This kind man discovered a newborn girl abandoned on a wooden bench. Moved to tears, he carried the infant home. Years later, a surprising miracle took place. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Dmitry was a young man who called Moscow home. He spent the most of his time away from home because he was a consultant for many businesses. He had all he needed monetarily, but it did not make him a happy guy. He lost his wife and children in a terrible accident only a few months after they were married. For him, nothing had ever been the same since that terrible day. As he was getting ready for work one day, he looked through one of his old briefcases to see what papers he needed. A photo of his wife and daughter slipped out at that same time. The young man was devastated beyond belief. He recollected all of their wonderful times together. He remarked, "I wish you two were here with me," in between sobs. "It has been so difficult for me to live each day without you two. Why must everything in my life be unfair? Why not?" He sobbed so much for a while, but he realized there was nothing he could do about it, so he packed up his things, got in his car, and drove directly to work. It was chilly all around the city on his walk home from work. Since it was November, Russia was officially entering its winter. The journey was silently traversed by the weary man. Dmitry made the decision to grab some food because he was trapped in traffic. After parking his subcompact Lada Vesta, he entered a snack bar. He bought himself a bite to eat there. Still, he heard a baby scream as soon as he left the store. He initially believed he was dreaming. But as he examined more attentively and walked a few more yards, he saw an abandoned infant on a seat. He was dumbfounded. "This is just unbelievable. How could someone leave a newborn alone in this bitter cold?" The young guy uttered a shocked murmur. However, how did the infant daughter get here? Her parents filed for divorce 10 months after she was born due to a significant disagreement. The baby remained with her mother, but eventually the woman was unable to continue caring for her. She abandoned the infant on a bench in the hopes that someone would see her and come to the child's aid because she was unemployed and barely making ends meet. It came out that Dmitry was that individual. When he saw the baby, his mind was racing with ideas, but he realized he had to take something to support the child. She wouldn't withstand the cold, so he carried her home since he knew he couldn't just ignore her and go on with his quest. The baby girl stopped wailing and smiled at him as soon as he lifted her up. Her adorable grin made his day, and Dmitry sensed they clicked immediately away. Upon arriving home, he instructed his maid to take care of the infant. She felt bad for the infant after he told her how he had discovered it. The girl was fed and washed by the woman. She cared for the baby as if she were the girl's biological mother. Additionally, Dmitry gave the maid everything she asked for and took great care to ensure the infant was well taken care of. He named the infant Anna after tending to her for a few weeks. He was unable to spend all of his time with the little girl since his profession needed him to travel to other places. Dad took her to a daycare where the young child received reading and writing instruction when Dad had to travel for work. Dmitry made it a point to see her whenever he had any free time. He would give her gifts and make time for her. They became like father and daughter over time. Dmitry made sure the young girl understood the truth about him from an early age, so she didn't grow up knowing him as her biological father. When he went to see her one day, he looked through some of her drawings, and there was one in particular that made him cry. The illustration depicted a mother and father strolling down a crowded street while holding their daughter's hand. It was that drawing that reminded him of his late wife and kids. It brought back memories of the lovely days he strolled across the park with them. It seemed as though he could hear his wife laughing and feel his daughter's gentle hand in his. He really missed them. He began to cry at the remembrance. Anna was taken aback to see him in that manner and, unsure of what to do, gave him a hug and apologized in her little, endearing voice. "My dream has always been to reside in a pleasant family. That's the reason I drew it. You have my undying love. I appreciate all you've done for me." Her words gave him solace. Taking hold of her hands, He expressed his love for her, but since she was only 7, he was unable to explain to her why he had sobbed. He gave her a special visit and spent several days with her on her 10th birthday. Anna couldn't contain her excitement. They went out every day and enjoyed themselves immensely. Dmitri informed the little girl he had something to tell her when it was time for him to go back to work. The expression on his face indicated that this was a serious situation, which made her nervous. Dmitri revealed to Anna that he had taken her in as a youngster. She gave him a hug and whispered, "Thank you so much, Dad," in between sobs. "I appreciate you being there for me at all times. I swear to be a dutiful daughter. I need no other parents. You are the only father I know. I will make you proud because I adore you so much." He promised her he would return soon and take her home with him as he got into his car. He also told her that he would no longer be traveling and would shortly be quitting his work. He could spend every day at home with her in such manner. He spent the following few months getting ready for her arrival. He quit his work and opened a restaurant near his house using part of his funds. Fortunately, his business took off and he quickly attracted a large clientele. It was finally time for him to return home with his adoptive daughter. He drove her to his city residence after picking her up from the daycare center. Dmitri went above and above to please her. A few weeks later, Dad transferred her to a different school. She was succeeding academically and making new friends there. He got her up in the morning and drove her to school every weekday. He then went to her school at noon to take her up. He ensured she had what she needed. He would also take her out and buy her plenty of stuff on the weekends. Apart from meeting Anna's physical requirements, Dmitri also made sure that she understood the value of life and her own love. Dmitri will always be appreciative to her for embracing him as her father, since she had healed a void in his heart. Anna flourished academically while growing up under Dmitri's devoted guidance. She was a bright young lady. The school administration gave her a scholarship since she had been the top student in her class for 3 years running. Dmitri was ecstatic. He could save more money for her post-secondary studies and was pleased with her accomplishment. She got accepted to the university to study architecture after completing her secondary education. Her early goal had always been to become an architect. It wasn't long after Anna's studies were over before she was offered a lot of jobs. In a few years, she achieved great success. She was aware that without her adoptive father, her life would not have made such a remarkable recovery. She went to see him at his house one beautiful morning. She informed him she was going him somewhere after they had been chatting for a bit. What she was about to show him was unknown to him. As he got out of the automobile, he found himself standing in front of an opulent home. "Dad, this is your new house," Anna then stated. "I hope you enjoy it, since I designed it just for you. This is simply my small way of saying thank you for everything that you have done for me. Additionally, you wouldn't have to work. I will supply all you require." Dmitri started crying. This was the epiphany moment. He gave his daughter a hug and was at a loss for words. He knew then that he had picked her up off that bench that cold night without making a mistake. What lessons can you draw from this tale? Let me know in the comments. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.